Hello everyone, myself Srivalli, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Cybersecurity and Data Science in MLR Institute of Technology. So today, the overview of presentation includes the operations and loss of sets, cardinality of a set, and also Venn diagram. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the types of the sets, how you will represent the sets, and what are the types we have discussed, like finite set, infinite set. So like that we have discussed. So today we are going to discuss what are the main operations in the loss of sets and what is the cardinality of a set and how to represent this Venn diagram. So here the following operations can be applied on the sets with respect to the following rules. Means, so we have the main operations in the loss of a sets here. So that is, first one is intersection of sets, second one is union of sets, and third one is relative complement of sets, and also we have symmetric difference. So here intersection will denote with here reverse U, and here union, here this is obviously U, and relative complement is minus, and symmetric difference is plus here. So let us see one by one. The first one is here intersection of sets. So here the intersection of the two given sets A and B is a set which consists of all the elements which are common to both A and B. So here that is nothing but here you are considering two sets. The intersection of these two sets will consist of all the elements which are common from both A and B. Means here, let us suppose set A is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set B is equal to 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, from this A and B, the elements which are common is 3, 5. So, here as we have here the common elements 3, 5, then A intersection B is 3, 5. So, in these two sets, the elements 3 and 5 are common. Then the set containing these common elements, that is 3 and 5, is the intersection of set A and set B. So, like this you can have many number of elements which are common from both the sets. Either you can have 1, either you can have 2, either you can have more than 5 elements also. Or sometimes you cannot have at least one element also. At that time you can write it as here 5. So A intersection B is 5. Means as you didn't get any common element, we can write it as 5. And we can say that sets are called disjoint sets that we have discussed in the last session. Next here, the symbol used for the intersection of the sets is here reverse U. The intersection of the two sets A and B is always represented by A and U. So that is A intersection B. X is such that X belongs to A and also X belongs to B. So example here, let E is equal to D comma A comma Y. So F is equal to N comma I comma G comma H comma T. Now if we observe here, so just observe that this is not like day night here. So as these are some elements here. D is one alphabet, A is one alphabet, Y is one alphabet, N is one alphabet. Like that we have different type of alphabets where we are considering it as here only the elements of the particular sets, like respective sets like E and F. Now our task is only just to observe whether we have the common elements or not from both the sets like E and F. Now if we observe D, A, Y, N, I, G, H, T, I did not find any common element, I did not find any common alphabet. Then obviously you can write it as 5, where we can say that E and F are called disjoint sets. Now, from this intersection, we have some properties also like commutative property, associative property, idempotent property, and also distributive property. So, here the intersection of the sets has, these are the properties here. Commutative law. So, we already know commutative law from the first unit itself here, from the first, we have seen in the equivalence formulas, we have seen this commutative, associative, idempotent, and distributive. So here A intersection B, you can also write it as B intersection A. That is A intersection B is equal to B intersection A. Associative law means A intersection B intersection C is equal to A intersection B intersection C. That is nothing but you are giving brackets here A intersection B and here B intersection C. But the meaning will not change here, the same meaning. Why? Because as we have the same operator. And here, so phi intersection A is always equal to 5. And here, U intersection A is always equal to A. A intersection A is always equal to again A. And distributive law means here you can have different operators, two operators. One is union or intersection and union here. So like this. If so, for example, A intersection B intersection C. Now we are just distributing here, like multiplying here. So A intersection B, and so here A intersection B you are taking, and here you are taking union A intersection C. Means this middle one you will get here in the middle, and this will be distributed to both. A, this intersection is multiplied to B and C with A. Now next we have union of sets. So if X and Y are two sets, then union of set creates a new set here which consists of all the elements present either in X or in Y. Means it will combine both the sets and it will consider all the elements, that is called union. So here, the union of set creates a new set which consists of all the elements present either in X or in Y, or in both the union of sets is denoted. So X union Y. So or in both here, union of sets is denoted by X union Y. So let us consider, we have one example also. Let us see. Set A is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, and B is equal to 6, 8, 10, 12. Now these are the elements of that respective sets here. Now, so here you have to combine these two, and you need to write if any duplicate elements are there. Means if any element is existing in both set A and set B, you need to write only once. So 2, 4, it is not there in set B, let it be here. Now 6, 8, we have 6, 8, we have 6, 8, but you are not supposed to write twice here. So simply it can appear only once. And next we have 10, 12, and this is called union of the set, where you are combining both the sets, and if any duplicate elements are there, it will there it will be there only once. So then A union B is represented as the set containing all the elements which belong to both the sets individually. So how you will write here mathematically is A union B is equal to X such that X belongs to A or X belongs to B. So that is A union B is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 and 12. And here the common elements are not repeated. It will appear only once here. And here similarly, just like for the intersection, how we have the properties, the same properties we are having existing in this A union also. Commutative law, it holds as true where A union B is always equal to B union A. And associative law also holds true where A union B union C is equal to A union B union C, as we have. So always for the associative law, you can have only one operator, union or intersection operator. So here within the brackets, and there here B union C within the brackets here. Now for example, let A is equal to 1, 2, B is equal to 3, 4 and C is equal to 5, 6. So here A union B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and A union B union C is equal to, then what you will get here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Means first you will apply A union B and the result will be applied union with the C. Then you will get A union B union C. In the same way here, if you write B union C here, you will get 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are applying union for B and C. So altogether you will get 3, 4, 5, 6. And now you will apply union for A. Again you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Means if we observe here, both are equal only. A union B union C or A union B union C. So now it holds true and it is also verified that. Now we also have identity elements like A union phi is equal to A. Now here idempotent law. So A union A is always equal to A. A and A is always equal to A. A or A is equal to A, like that. Law of the universal set. Always A union with universal set is always equal to universal set only. Next we have relative complement. So here if X and Y are two sets, then relative complement of Y with respect to X. It creates a new set which consists of elements belongs to the X but not Y. So relative complement is always denoted by X minus Y, which is also we can write it, we can pronounce it as difference here. So that means here, so let us suppose we have X. So here itself we have X and Y are two sets. Now the relative complement of this X and Y with respect to X creates a new set which consists of the elements belongs to X but not Y. That is nothing but here X is equal to 1, 2, 5, 7, 9 and Y is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now what it will do is, first it will cancel the common elements. So what are the common elements we have here? So 1, 2 is not there in Y. 5 is there here in the set Y. 7 is also existing here in the set Y. Now even 9 is also existing in the set Y. Now here cancelling out the common elements from both the sets, and the leftover elements from the first set is called here relative complement, that is 1, 2. Now in the same way, if you do Y minus X, so Y will be treated as first set, second X is treated as second set here, then you will get here the leftover elements are 3, 4, 6, 8. So like this you will be doing relative complement X minus Y or Y minus X, means the set of the elements which are belonging to the first set, you will get the elements after cancelling out the common terms. Next we have symmetric difference. So here we have Boolean sum. So if X and Y are two sets, then their symmetric difference creates a new set which contains the elements present either in A or B but not in both. So it is denoted by X plus Y or X delta Y. So which we can also write the formula as X minus Y union Y minus X here. So see here, for example, we have the example also here. X is equal to 1, 2, 5, 7, 9 and Y is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So here 1, 2, 5, 7, 9 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 7. Now here symmetric difference we need to find out. So which is nothing but the formula is X minus Y union Y minus X. So here what is X minus Y here? So if you observe here, the common elements will get cancelled, which is nothing but here 5, 7, 9 will get cancelled. You will get 1, 2. The same thing, the same examples in the last from the relative complement. And Y minus X you will get here 3, 4, 6, 8. And now in between these two you need to apply union. Then finally you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. This is X delta Y. This is called X delta Y, that is X minus Y union Y minus X here. So this is about symmetric difference here, and here we also have the properties like commutative law, associative law and idempotent law. So that is X plus Y is equal to Y plus X, X plus Y plus Z is equal to X plus Y plus Z, and X plus X is always equal to here 5. And here also we have the properties in the relative complement here. Relative complement X minus Y is equal to Y minus X. Associative law X minus Y minus Z is not equal to X minus Y minus Z. Next we have cardinality of a set here. So what is meant by cardinality? So here in the last session, in the types of the sets, we have seen equivalent set. So equivalent set means the number of elements present in set A must be equal to the number of elements present in the set B. Number of elements present in the set we have denoted with here n of A, which is nothing but cardinality. It is represented with cardinality here. So here if A is a finite set with n distinct elements, let us suppose here some A is finite set, that's why I have taken AEIOU. With some n distinct elements, means n is equal to how many elements? We have 5. Then that particular n is called the cardinality of A. So that means n of capital A is equal to, you can represent it like this, is equal to 5. So it is denoted by n of A, or even you can write it as det A or mod A also. For example, if A is equal to A comma B comma C comma D, then det A is equal to here, as we have how many elements here? 4 elements. Then you can get mod A is equal to, or det A is equal to 4. So next we have ordered pairs. So basically what is meant by ordered pair here? So the pair of elements which occur in some particular order and which are enclosed within the brackets are called as a set of ordered pairs. Means pair of elements means what? For example, A comma B, which are occur in some particular order, means A comma B or B comma C, like that, and they are enclosed within the brackets, and this is called an ordered pair, where always the first element is belonging to the first set, second element is belonging to the second set. That means set A and set B, you can have set A and set B elements, some elements you can have here, and so the ordered pair how you will get is always based on some condition, and that element in the ordered pair, first element is always will be taken from the set A and second element is always will be taken from the set B. Means first element will be taken from first set, second element will be taken from the first set, second set here. And we shall denote this order pair A comma B, and you have to remember one more thing, that A comma B is always not equal to B comma A. So why? Because we are taking the elements from two sets. One is from first set, second is from another set. So we cannot say that A comma B is equal to B comma A. So in this ordered pair A comma B, the element A is called the first element and the element B is called the second element. Let us suppose if Px comma y we have, it is a point in the plane, then the order of P in a particular order, and the first member x is called x coordinate and the second element y is called the y coordinate. Means if you are representing x comma y in a plane, in a graph in a plane, always you can take that x is x coordinate and y is called from the y coordinate. So absolute component, next we have mu minus a, that the formula for the absolute component is here mu minus a. The relative complement related of a with respect to mu, we can call it as absolute component or complement of a, which is nothing but here mu is nothing but the total elements. From the elements, if you remove this set A elements, then you will get the absolute component. So mu is nothing but the total universal set here. And the next here, Venn diagrams. What are these Venn diagrams here? So basically here, if you are representing the sets in the form of graphs or in the form of pictorial representation, or we can say the pictorial representation of the sets or diagrammatic representations of the sets is called Venn diagram. Means the total concept whatever we have discussed up to now, so that everything if you are representing, you are going to represent that sets in the form of pictures or diagrams, then we can say that name is called Venn diagrams. So the diagrammatic representation of every subset of the universal set and their union, intersection, complement and other union, intersection, complement and other operations which are made possible by using diagrams are called Venn diagrams. So here whatever it is, like operations like union, intersection, related, anything whichever you are going to represent in the form of a diagram, that is called Venn diagrams. So these diagrams represent the schematic behavior here. So I think by the set of the points based upon the representation, you can say that this is a schematic representation of the points here. So a Venn diagram is a schematic representation of a set here, and we can also say that the universal set E is represented by a set of points which are there, we can represent that in the form of a rectangle, and a subset, say here A of E is always represented by the interior of a circle or same other closed curve inside the rectangle. So this you can understand in the form of diagrams here. Let us see here. So first we have A union B. So how we will represent A union B? A union B is nothing but here, in terms of the problems we have already solved here, you can combine A and B elements and all together means you are combining both the elements and you are writing all the elements. So that is nothing but you are shading both A and B sets. Means I have represented set A with one circle, I have represented set B with another circle. Now A intersection B means what here? So which we are going to take only common elements from both the sets here. Means A and B circles, out of this which are common part, that only we are shading. Next, A delta B, which is nothing but A minus B, that is A union B minus A intersection B. So that is nothing but here you are doing minus only that intersection part and the leftover you are shading the part. Next, A dash means except A part, you will shade everything including the mu part also, universal part also. And A intersection B means except B part, you will shade A part. And A dash intersection B. Here A intersection B dash. Now here A dash intersection B. So A dash means here except A part. Intersection means not excluding this common part also, that B will be there. So here A union B part means except B part which are common, it will be included. And here A dash union B dash is equal to here A intersection B total B dash, means only the common part will not be shaded and the remaining everything will be shaded here. So here A dash intersection B dash, A union B whole dash. So which is nothing but total A and B part we will not shade, the remaining universal part we are shading here. So like this, we have different types of the sets, and we are representing this total sets by using union, intersection, common difference like symmetric difference, relative complement, complements. So that everything we are representing in the form of a diagrams here. This is about here. Next Venn diagrams. So next we are having Cartesian product. What is meant by Cartesian product here? So here, if A and B are two sets, let us suppose we have two sets A and B. The Cartesian product of A and B is defined as A cross B is equal to A comma B such that A belongs to A and B belongs to B here. Means here, the Cartesian product of two sets, how you will find out is, you will be getting in the form of a ordered pair. So Cartesian product always represented with cross, A cross B or A Cartesian product B. So A cross B we will pronounce it here. So this how you will get A cross B is in the form of the ordered pairs. Then how this ordered pair you will get here is, always the first element will be taken from the first set, second element will be taken from the second set. That is what here. A comma B such that A belongs to A and B belongs to B. So let us see one example so that we can understand here. Let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and B is equal to A comma B comma C. Then A cross B is equal to, so here how we will do is, so in the form of here, first element will be from the first set, second element from the second set in the ordered pair. So like this you can have many ordered pairs. So that is nothing but, see here, 1 comma A, again 1 is multiplying with another element in the B, again 1 is multiplying with another element. Means, so the elements which are present in the set A, so all are multiplied with all the elements in the set B. So how, like every element in the set A is multiplied with every element in the set B. That is 1A, 1B, 1C here. So again 2A, 2B, 2C. Again 3A, 3B, 3C. Next 4A, 4B, 4C. That is what cross product. That is nothing but Cartesian product. So every element in the set A will be multiplied with every element in the set B. So in the same way we can also do it B cross A. Means first you have to consider B set as the first set and next A set as the second set. Now if you will get here A1, A2, A3, A4. Always here. That are B1, B2, B3, B4. C1, C2, C3, C4. Like that you will get here. And one more thing is, if you observe A cross B and B cross A, so they are never equal here. Why? Because first elements are always different here. Second elements are different. So they can never be equal here. That is what A cross B is not equal to here B cross A. So, and the relation is always a subset of A cross B. Or we can say that R is a part of the A cross B, which is called Cartesian product. So here, we got one new word which is called as R. So what is meant by this R? R is nothing but here, that is called a relation. So whichever the relation you are getting, that is always a subset of A cross product. Means the condition, means you can have any number of relations or you can have any number of conditions. That condition always you will get from the A cross B, that is Cartesian product. So that we will be discussing in the next session, like it is related to relations concept. So what we have discussed today is, so here what are the types of, what are the operations and laws of the sets, what are the types of that operations we have discussed, like intersection, union, relative complement and symmetric difference. And we have also discussed here what are Cartesian products, we have discussed what is meant by Venn diagram, we have discussed. So here in the same way we have discussed ordered pairs, we have discussed. So like this, this is about our today's session. So in the next session we'll come with a new concept that is called relations. So thank you.